to win the NFC. Graz, I already see you throwing your hands
It's
up.
always going to be an overreaction. Nobody's a lock. We don't know who's going to get hurt. We don't know. The Rams' schedule is brutal. They do open in Melbourne. They have all kinds of primetime games. They play in this division that, oh, by the way, not only includes those 49ers who got to the second round of the playoffs last year, but the Super Bowl champion Seahawks who won the division last year. So, yeah, I think the Rams have work to do. I get why they're favorites. They look fantastic. They have a high degree of confidence about them when you talk to the Rams about their upcoming season, and they don't even have Aaron Donald in the building yet, and we think they probably will. So I get why they're favored. Nothing's a lock at this point.
Hawk, you had a great line in the production meeting when we were talking about them being the runaway favorites, about Donald and Garrett if Donald joins.
Yeah, this isn't just like, hey, they have a bunch of good players and, we're no. Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett is otherworldly. It's like the Avengers coming together on the same defensive line. If Aaron Donald is anywhere near close to what he was when he left, I do not see how a team can stop both of these guys. And there will be a ripple effect throughout the rest of the team. That is, and I don't feel good about making these kind of declarations.
Right? You're not one of these guys.
I'm not one of those guys, man. I'm not here for hot takes. But yes, these two guys together feels different.
When I was at their camp, I was talking to Kevin Dotson, one of their offensive linemen, asking him about Garrett. And he said, when we break the huddle in practice, the first thing we do is find that guy. He said, there aren't a lot of guys in the league that you would change your entire blocking scheme just to block this one guy. And I said, well, give me some others. And he said, well, Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
So,
both of them
could
could be on the Rams. All right, we had this conversation off camera. We figured let's bring it to the show. We know the Rams and we know the Seahawks who won the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, remember the Seahawks? Yeah, the Seahawks are in this league too. We know them. If you're taking the Rams and the Seahawks off the board, and hopefully the graphic's going to show Seahawks, because I could see Seahawks fans just going nuts if they don't
do anything
see it.
not to talk about the Seahawks.
Other than the Rams and Seahawks. Yeah, there you go. Good. Instead besides Seahawks. Thank God. Who would you say? And here, I said Bears. I said the Bears. The Bears were a step away from beating the Rams. They bring back just about everybody. My take is the Bears. Everyone's just assuming they're going to have regression. I don't think so. But J-Mac, you say the Eagles.
Yes, there's controversy in Philly and the way the season went last year. There's a new offensive coordinator in Sean May. And yes, that's a high variable. First-time play caller. It could be great. It could be terrible. Who knows? I'm looking at this team, backs against the wall. Jalen Hurts cannot play quarterback. If you ask everybody else, I'm picking Philly because, one, their defense is still outstanding, and I think this offense turns it around. They find a way to produce points.
Grass, still with the Lions, even with the Cade Mays injury.
I would like them to get through a day without some terrible injury news to feel better about this pick. But, I think we've seen them perform at a high level. I'm all in on Jahmyr Gibbs as, like, the running back, the engine of that offense. Jamison Williams, I think, takes another step. We know what Amon-Ra St. Brown is. I just think there's a lot there. I think the coordinator hire this year should work better than last year's, and Dan Campbell has a winning culture. Their down year was last year. They finished 9-8, and as a result, they have the 32nd easiest schedule by opponents' win percentage from last year.
About a minute ago, Hawk looked into the camera and said, I'm not about hot takes, and now he has the Cowboys as the third best
there's
team.
a lot of reasons
So let's
for
take
this.
it away.
All right, so the Rams are off the list. Then we couldn't use the Seahawks.
Right.
Then the Bears, Eagles, and Lions are
draft.
down. So now I'm down to the 6th seed in the NFC. So, yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys, and I do think the Cowboys are going to be a good football team, and if their defense can make the jump that we expect with the additions that they made in the offseason, they will be a contender in the NFC.
No one will listen to anything he said. It'll
That's
just
the
be,
It'll just be Cowboys. Take the
with the
screenshot.
suit, like, that's Cowboys.
That's it. Screen grab. That's it. From
Cowboys
the
only.
NFL, we now move to We Do More Football, where Micah Parsons opened camp on the physically unable to perform list and will likely remain there when the season opens, requiring him to miss at least the first 4 games. Yesterday, this was awesome. Micah spoke about the prospects of returning to our friends Stacey Dales and Brian Baldinger, possibly for Week 6 against the Cowboys.
That's the most optimistic like that I can be back. Yeah. But of course, I can be later. There can be setbacks. There can be trying to integrate back to football is completely different than running on cones and ladders.
All right, so that was from NFL Live, but it was also originally from Inside Training Camp on the NFL Network. That's the most optimistic that I can be back. I can be back later, but there can be setbacks. Week 6, Micah versus the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Graz, we go to you. What do you make of it all? The Micah coming back.
The Packers have a strict rule prohibiting any football activity for 9 months following, ACL surgery. So that's September 29th in this case, and that means through Week 3. it's only cones and ladders for Micah Parsons, as he put it. So to get back in 3 weeks for the Cowboys game and be at full strength, I think that's what you're hearing from Micah, is like, that might be a lot to ask. Let's see how things feel once we get to October. But yeah, that's the timetable we're looking at. I would be surprised if he doesn't start the season on PUP and have to miss at least the first 4 games, given how rigid the Packers are about that rule.
Hawk, last year he goes down, they lose all 5 games, and it was one of these deals where their defense played well, but they just didn't have enough reinforcements to get it done when it mattered. This year they have an entire offseason, and they know that he's going to be out the first 5 weeks. Why should this be different than last year when they went 0-5 without him?
Because it can't be surprised by the thing that they've already experienced, right? Like the beginning part of this season is the favorable portion of the schedule for the Packers. And so they should have a plan, but as a unit, they have a new defensive coordinator. On top of that, they're going to have to deploy 2 different schemes, and they've talked about this, about their defense pre-Micah being back and post-Micah being back. So that's going to take an extreme amount of discipline, strategy, and everything in between.
That's the key, right? They've had 8 months to get ready for this.
Yes.
Whereas when he gets hurt in the Denver game with 4 weeks left in the season, they were devastated and really didn't have any chance to react.
Last year at this time, there's a lot of Jordan Love MVP talk. There's a lot of Packers Super Bowl talk. It feels like it's dimmed quite a bit this offseason. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's in the different circles. Jordan Love, what do you put him in the whole pantheon of quarterbacks, and what do you make of him? Can he carry this team and say, don't worry, Micah's out, but I got us?
He's going to have to. I think you look at this offense, and we've continued each year anticipating that Jordan Love is going to take another giant step. Now, Jordan Love is a really good quarterback in our league, but we're talking about Jordan Love potentially being in an MVP conversation. I think it may take that caliber play to get them to where they want to get, to be contenders in the NFC. So I think you add the part that Micah Parsons is going to be out. Yes, the defense has been able to plan. They're going to have to do some different things. But also think offensively for Jordan Love. Like, he's going to have to go out there and manufacture offense, manufacture points, take care of the football, manage the game, and all of those small things to get to them the way they want to get, and welcome Micah Parsons back. Because even if it is week 6, to Graz's point, like, the version of Micah Parsons that they're going to need to really win may not be till maybe week 10.
I know. All right, let's go camping a little bit, because this is maybe my favorite week of the summer months when it comes to joint practices. Ooh. You're going to get some skirmishes. You're going to get some ones-on-ones. It begins in Foxborough. J-Mac, what would you be looking for in today's Colts-Patriots practice?
How about that guy on your screen, A.J. Brown, with an opportunity to go up against Sauce Gardner from the Indianapolis Colts. I love to see good on good in training camp. And whenever you have the joint practice, what you get out of that, especially from the skill position, is you get to test yourself and go against another all-pro. Can't wait to see that matchup.
Hawk, we head out to Oxnard, California. Cowboys-Rams, what would you be looking at?
This is going to tell us so much about the season this year, because I'm looking at CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, the #1 receiver duo in the league, going against new cornerback tandem, Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson for the LA Rams. We've seen them last season, late in the season. This passing defense was not great, and it's the reason why they feel like they didn't come home with the Lombardi last year. We get to see what this new defensive backfield looks like against the very best receivers in the league.
Graz, we go right down the road from here. Jets hosting the Buccaneers at a joints practice. What are you looking at?
I want to see Geno Smith and this Jets offense. Been hearing a lot about the connection between him and Garrett Wilson, between him and Adonai Mitchell in camp this year. A lot of people around the league would tell you Geno's tape from last year was not that bad. The offense the Raiders had him in was. I want to see how this passing game looks against a defense that had more than 0 interceptions last year.
More than 0 interceptions, yes. Let's hope to change that for Aaron Glenn. J-Mac, Titans 49ers, the Robert Saleh Bowl.
I want to see who's practicing for the 49ers. They don't have enough guys to dress. It seems like the injuries just continue to pile up day after day after day. Kyle Shanahan back out there on the practice field. And then on the Titans side, Carnell Tate. No one talks about the team that plays out in Nashville, but there's slow motion videos of him making amazing grabs throughout training camp. Can he do it against somebody in a different uniform? I want to see it.
Can I just say I love that primetime music? That is from my childhood. That ESPN, that is Chris Berman, Tom Jackson. We love it. Football is back. And coming up, we've got a lot more to talk about. The 40-yearly trip around the league, what do you got?
Overreaction Tuesday. If I said this would be the best year of Justin Herbert's career, I would say that is not going to be an overreaction. I think Mike McDaniel wants to troll us about the running back usage, but we know who the quarterback's going to be. And I know from talking to McDaniel at camp how excited he is to coach someone of Justin Herbert's ability. He said, I feel like my whole career has kind of been pointing toward having this quarterback in this system. So fired up for Justin Herbert with the Chargers.
Not an overreaction from Graz. Hawk, you hear that. What's your reaction?
Yeah, I don't think he's wrong. I think that Justin Herbert was going to have a career year with Mike McDaniel. I think Mike McDaniel is going to be one of the hottest head coaching candidates because Justin is going to look the best that he has. In this offense, when you are decent, you look good. When you're good, you look great. When you're great, you look like an MVP candidate.
Okay. Let's go to this next team here, which I think is interesting. The statement is this: injuries will sink the 49ers this season. Graz, is that an overreaction?
It's an overreaction. I think other than the Pearsall and then we don't know if Kittle's going to take some time coming back from his Achilles, none of the injuries they're having in camp feel like they're going to threaten anyone's availability for September. So, and then you look back at last year, they lost Brock Purdy for half the year. They lost Fred Warner and Nick Bosa for huge chunks of the year. They still got to the second round of the playoffs. And talking to some players there at camp, they really, that's been their message to each other.
Look at that list. That looks like it's a...
I understand, but there's no game this week.
Page out of the Bible.
So they really feel like we weathered what we weathered last year. We can weather anything.
There's no game this week. You're correct in that, Graz. That list scares me,
it's
though.
It's a long list.
A lot of that.
Too long list.
There's guys on that list
multiple lists
are above 30, and that's the part where it's just like they don't bounce back as fast, and they continue to win this way. But proof of concept, to your point, Kyle Shanahan, when he's out there coaching, no matter who goes down, they find a way to win games.
He's banged up, too.
Yes,
that's
true. He's back on the list.
There's no game this week, and he's back.
Returning. Their first game is in Melbourne, where they will face the Rams, and that's the team we're talking about next year. The Rams, here is the statement. The Rams are a lock.